particularly the sparkly Stephen West shawl. I don't know if I will ever wear that. I might give it away. But it needs to exist. There needs to be a bright, ridiculous, sparkly Stephen West shawl in the world.
Oh, I think it's a place for it. We'll be going to Pride one day in Toronto. That's the place for sparkly shawl. Even if it's the middle of summer, that's where you take a sparkly shawl.
Yes, you're right.
Welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
And it's another late night recording. Woohoo! It's
Woo!
episode 302. Let's hope the math holds up.
Oh God, let's not do math. Let's just not.
So many people were helping me with the math. I'm like, guys, really? The next morning, the math was super easy. It just we don't math after 5 p.m. And it's 9 p.m. There is no mathing.
No math.
No math.
No math occurs after 9 p.m.
No math occurs after 5. That's it. I check out. I'm like, I'm done. No, thank you.
And yes, we did get that it was 35. We would have got there eventually. And it's not that we couldn't solve it. We just got distracted and forgot to finish.
There's so many cuts sometimes. And I'm like, I wonder if people wonder if it's because I'm blowing my nose a lot that day or because we're just, whoo, and I've gone, whoa. That 25-minute tangent is not required.
That was a journey. How'd we get there?
Oh, this is what now? What was in our cups? I'm not entirely sure. It was not alcohol.
Some days it's alcohol. It's not alcohol. I don't know.
Well, do you want to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week?
Yeah, this week we've got What's in Our Cup, Woolly Workings, and Wool Gathering.
Ta-da! The stuff and the things.
Probably could have included some cool threads, but meh. I'm not wearing anything right now, so meh.
I'm not wearing anything right now. I was wearing stuff earlier, but that was earlier. This is now. Past Jocelyn's already in so much trouble with me. I don't think we need to add to her pile anymore at this point.
Oh dear. Okay.
In addition to my usual big old cup of water, because you always need water.
Always.
You need the aqua for the hydration. I have yet another cup of mint tea.
Shocking. In an absolutely shocking turn of events,
mint tea.
I too have more kombucha.
It's almost like we have favorites.
It's great when I don't have to change the show notes week to week. I can just copy and paste. It's great. I love when we make my job easier.
I'm on an evening mint tea kick right now. I'm sure it'll change eventually. It always does. But for the moment, mint tea is where it's at. So that's what we're drinking. That's fine. I suppose we should dive right in.
Yeah, I'm just making faces at my knitting. Don't mind me. Don't mind me.
I'm probably the safest person to make faces with because I generally don't see them. I'm going to assume I have more than you.
That's a safe assumption. I have 3.
You know what? We're going to start with a victory today because I need a win.
A victory? We love a victory.
Need a win. Guess what's done?
The blanket? The blanket's done?
Study of Snow Blanket is complete. It does not fit in frame.
Beautiful. I am so excited to squish it next week.
Could I have done another repeat? Yes. Yes, I could have done another repeat. But you know what? I ran out of yarn.
Well, then you couldn't have done another repeat, could you?
I'd have to go buy yarn, and that's not the point. The point is to get rid of the yarn, not make more yarn problems. It's to decrease the yarn problems. So we're almost like, if I stretch it, we're arm length. This is not washed. This is not blocked. This was 2:00 this afternoon. I put the last double crochet in and went, and we're finished. And wove in my ends. 2 ends. Because I wove in the rest as I went. 2.
Ooh.
So, this bad boy needs a bath. I'm not sure how I'm going to block a whole blanket.
Do you even really block a blanket? I think you just sort of hang it up.
Well, what I'm going to do is, because I happen to have a cat that likes water, I don't even know how that's possible. I'm going to wash it. I'm gonna wring it out really, really good. And then because I have to wash my bedding tomorrow anyway, I'm just going to drape this across my bedroom, across my bed in my bedroom. After having let it hang for a little bit and then drape it to finish drying over the bed.
That makes sense.
I think that should work fine.
A
Or
bed
over the
does seem
couch.
like
One of the two, because they're the biggest surfaces I have. And really, quite frankly, if I hung it somewhere where she might be able to even remotely try to get access to it, like all I could just picture is her like standing on top of a table, trying to climb up on my drying rack to get on top of this thing.
probably safer to just put it in a place she can get at it then.
I'm just gonna put it somewhere where she can get at it, people. Yeah, like nightmare visions of my
Your
head.
cat and her damp towels. I don't get
I
it.
don't understand. But I've got beautiful puff stitches, big open window spaces, and crosses, and a V stitch in here. Like I've got some nice opening lace stuff I gotta open up in addition to the texture. Now, would I have done another row to like window frame it essentially with this texture stitch, which is it's a back post half double or double crochet? Yes, I literally didn't have enough yarn to do one more round. Like literally did not have enough yarn to do another round.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to get you very far.
Not when a row takes you nearly a full episode of television.
Ooh, yeah, that's not going to get you far.
Full arm's length. Some rows were faster than others. Puff stitches obviously take longer than like a V-stitch row. Because you skip stitches in a V-stitch row, whereas a puff stitch is a lot of yarn overs. But we're done, so I have a finish. And if it blocks it as big as I think it's going to be a beautiful couch blanket. In acrylic, so I can just wash and dry it.
It looks magnificent.
I'm not happy. And boy, did I get rid of yarn.
I bet.
Well, I held worsted, doubled to get bulky. So technically, while it only took about 400 grams of bulky, that's 800 worsted. So
Oh dear,
look
what have I
at all
done?
those folds that were done super not professionally.
It looks squishy.
I'd have to shrink to get it in frame. Hang on, still shrinking. Can't shrink anymore. I've shrunk it. All right, woo, we're done.
Why don't you do another one? I'm not finished my round yet.
Oh, jeez. So in the kick of, I want to get blankets done. I want to get stuff finished. Past Jocelyn is grounded. Because past Jocelyn didn't weave in her ends as she went on the quilt blanket. So
Oh
now
no.
present Jocelyn has to start with her 5 completed big squares, which are made of little squares. How many little squares? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 by 4 squares. So whatever 4 times 4 is. Again, I don't do math after 5.
16.
So that's not happening.
This is level of math I can still do.
But I can't. So I've got this going on. So I've woven in the ends on one of the bigger squares, and I've got 5 of them to go. But once that is finished, I'm going to take a measurement of one of these, and I'm going to sit down and with my Ziploc bags full of small completed squares, see how many big squares I can make. And see what I have left for yarn, because I've got a little bit of gray left and a little bit of tweed left. And then pilfer gray from my scrap bucket. It's a giant thing of scraps. And I'm going to try to round out as many squares as I can, and then I am sewing them together and I'm calling it done. So this may only be couch throw size. This may only be single bed size. This may only make it to a double. It doesn't matter. It'll still be a couch throw, and I will still use it. But I want it finished. This one is my oldest languishing whips, and I am done having it in the not finished pile. So we're going to make it as big as I can with what I have, and then I'm letting it go. Letting it go.
If you're like 1 or 2 squares away from having another big square, are you going to finish those or?
No.
Okay.
Just let them go. I'm not waiting. I'm not looking for more yarn. I'm not shopping for more yarn. I'm just gonna make it as big as I can with what I've got. I'm calling it a day.
That works.
Otherwise, it'll be like your patchwork cardigan that never gets finished.
Oh, I want to work on it. I just have too many other deadlines.
So
And that one doesn't have a deadline, so
I started weaving the ends of the second giant square while I was talking with my mom today. She thinks she would like to learn granny squares so that she can just slowly make squares and turn them into blankets. Yeah, sure. I'll teach you the granny square. So that might be what I do next time I'm out visiting.
nice. Well, that'll be
Like
fun.
teaching my mom how to make granny squares. That's fine. Because you can do a square, and then if that's all you're in the mood to do for the day, stop. Stop. Don't work on it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. But you can see from the other ends, floating past Jocelyn was a bad girl.
That's a lot of ends, I have to say.
And this is the first Ziploc bag full of squares.
Oh my.
Yes, I'm going to do myself a favor. Oh, look, I still have a crochet hook in here. Cool. I thought I was going to have to do a swatch square and figure out what hook size I'd used. Because I don't make notes. I am not a note maker. Do I know what the name of this pattern is? Nope. Did I certainly find a free chart pattern on Ravelry? Yep. Will I try to go find it for Diana and myself for later? Probably when I'm editing in a panic. That would also be correct.
Oh gosh.
And I go,
That'll be fun.
Oh boy. So
I'm sure it's in the depths of our show notes somewhere from whenever you were last working on it.
this project is old enough. I may honestly have a project page for it because it may be back when I was still making project pages regularly. So we shall see. But with the hook in this bag, it means I have one less thing I have to worry about. Because the moment I start stacking squares, I'm going to have a helper. And I do have some, like, I still have some balls of the Aran, which is the one you use the most of, right? So, like, I still have plenty of yarn if I need a couple of Aran squares to sew it together. Like, I still got some yarn to fill it with. It's the gray I'm out of. Like, I'm so low on gray. Like, I'm so low on gray. So, I need to figure out what's going on. So, I want to do that. But step one is the super boring weave and end stage, which honestly could take the next 2 weeks, people. Like, if all I do is hold up a square and go, I wove in more ends, guys. Don't ask, because I got a lot of ends to weave in. And there's only so much end weaving in one can handle at one given point in time, and then you need to have another task. That would be good for whip sprints, though. If I had all the ends woven in and I was like the sewing stage of the blanket.
Oh, yeah.
That would make for a great whip sprint thing for next month. That's a good goal. Be it sew stage.
I think that's an admirable goal.
That's not a bad idea. All right, that is 2. You really have to go now because I only have 2 left.
All right. Well, I'll go with the thing that I made super quick while we were catching up before we started recording. I made little cat toys out of the yarn that smells really good. Like, I as a human think it smells good, so cats think it smells really good.
They really do. They really, really do. I may have chased the monster today because she was playing with wool yarn. She shouldn't have been.
These are 5 or 6 big chunky crochet stitches, just with the ends sticking out. So I was trying to call them mice, and apparently they don't look anything like mice.
They're not
but
mice.
They do look like shrimp.
They do.
So they're cat shrimp. They're shrimp toys. I don't know.
Shrimp toys. Okay.
They're shrimps now.
They are.
So I have made
mouse-shaped.
I have made shrimps.
They are not mouse-shaped.
No, they're really not mouse-shaped, but they are shrimps. There.
Yeah.
Shrimp, 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 shrimp. Shrimp, shrimp.
Works fine. Works fine.
So that's out of this
ginormous
giant puck of basically roving.
Don't you still have like 3 or 4 of those things?
I still have a lot of this. It was really cheap. It's from a local farm.
Gosh.
So it's basically just 5 strands of very loosely spun roving.
Isn't that like super bulky?
It is so bulky. I probably super bulky, and I think this is like a 12mm hook that I've been using. And honestly, you could go bigger. So it's a 10mm hook. But honestly, you could probably go bigger.
Because you could do a study of snow blanket with leftover pucks.
Oh gosh. I would be concerned doing it with this like loosely spun stuff that it would just pill right away with use.
How hard are you on a couch throw?
I mean, there could be some very vigorous snuggling going on. You don't know. And it just like you floof it and you fold it and you stuff it on a shelf and you pull it out. And...
What kind of extreme fort making are you doing in that house?
You know what? We are grown-ups in this house, and sometimes we choose to make forts. So
Okay. Weirdo.
okay. Oh, I forgot to put them on my head because they're finished. Haha, there's my finished object. They take literally like 2 minutes each, so I don't think they really count.
Literally put 3 of them together.
These are not counting towards my being able to start things after finishing things. These are, oh yeah, I forgot to make cat toys for Christmas presents for people next week.
No.
They don't count for anything.
That would be like me counting those little crocheted Christmas tree hats I made one year. It took me like 5 minutes per hat.
Yeah, they don't count towards finishes that allow me to start new things. In case anybody was getting excited or annoyed that I found a loophole. No, that's not a loophole. This is just...
It's, well, technically, to the letter of the law, not within the spirit of the law.
It's, well, how did I word it? Because I'm pretty sure I worded it that I had to finish whips.
I don't know if you said whips. Something. I think you just had 2 FOs before you could start something.
Huh, I think maybe you're right.
I don't know if you said whips or not.
Anyway, the intent was that I would finish or frog whips. So I'm going with the intent and not the letter.
Okay.
They don't count.
Fair. That's fair. In my genius, that is me, I like to make sure Diana has a full visit Jocelyn experience and doesn't miss out on anything. So, hey, while you're in town, can you take back some stitches for me?
Oh dear.
In colorwork?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, because I may have done my first row of colorwork. It's literally my first row of colorwork. And then I stopped at the start of the row. But then without thinking, on my solstice socks, guys, these are my solstice socks. But without thinking about it, because I really don't give it too much thought. Yeah, I think I did like maybe 14 stitches. 14 or 16 stitches.
That's not too bad.
I started redoing the first row of colorwork again.
Oh no.
And then
that's not the right thing to do.
Where's my beginning of round marker? Chilling at the bottom of my sock. Because I was at the start of the round when I put my sock down.
Right.
Instead of 1 stitch shy or 1 stitch into the next row so that it stays on your needles. And I'm trying out these little 9-inch circulars that one of the Patreons sent for me to give a shot to see if I enjoy or not. I can't tell you because I haven't knit enough sock to know whether I enjoy it or not. So hey, when you're in town next week and we're doing this in person, want to tink some stitches for me? It's not hard. I can
absolutely tink some stitches for you.
It's in some pretty red and teal colors. So like I can almost see the stitches. Okay, I can almost see the teal stitches. Let's be honest, people. But help! I need some help. I've fallen and I can't get up. Hey. So
I can manage that.
There was my super genius thought for the week. I did that to myself. I went, yep, just put that down. And then spend a day debating on whether or not you're going to ask for help or you just rip it and start again. I'm going to ask for help. I'm just going to ask for help. You're literally here in like 7 days. I'm sure I can find something to keep me busy for 7 days so that I can just do socks the next week, right?
Yes, I feel like that's a thing that you are capable of.
Totally capable of. So there you go. I only have 1 thing left, my dear. Because I don't know what the red yarn is, but the blue teal yarn is from Twisted Fae Fiberworks. And it's sparkle. Sparkle.
So I still have 1 finished sock.
Yeah.
I have 1 sock and still only the toe. This is my sad little project where I got like, I don't know, 3 rounds done. I don't know. I don't even know. It was not much. I worked on the toe of the Mr. Diana socks out of the Red Wing Blackbird yarn by Fireweed Fiber Co.
Yeah.
That's my update.
Okay.
It's my meeting knitting, and Chaos Monkey got rid of all our meetings, so I haven't had my usual meeting time.
That's fine. I'm sure you'll have meeting time again, and you'll have airplane time.
I will have airplane time. I think they're going to be my airplane knitting.
Well, it depends on how much you got of the dinosaur Corba sweater done.
Well, that will be my next update.
It will be, and while we eagerly await with anticipation.
Is it a finish? Is it not a finish?
Is it? We don't know, guys. I'm gonna go with maybe she's got the body done. And she's got the ribbing of the sleeves. Possibly the sleeves, depends on how much she denoted to it this week. I don't know. I don't know what given what I know of what you had to do this week, I'm gonna go with the body's done, but possibly not the sleeves.
Well, you'll find out after you give your update.
I will. I've done 2 more rows on my back panel. Oh, the length of these back panel rows. They eat at your will to live some days.
I was so thrilled to finish it last week.
Every back panel, every crochet back panel I have ever done, by the time I get to this point in it, I'm so over it. I'm so over it. And it's not a diss against the pattern, guys. This is a freaking stunning pattern. This waffle fuller cardigan by Crochet with Carrie is beautiful. And I am going to love the front panel I have left to do. And I'm going to love the sleeves. And I'm going to love the seaming process. Because it doesn't seem to matter what cardigan I make. When I get within that last 2 or 3 inches of finishing the back panel, it feels like it's just dragging on forever. And it's not. It's because it feels like it is. I put it down a lot and stare into space, and I don't work on it. It just sits in my lap collecting heat.
So whip sprints.
I seriously would like to be done with the 4 cardigan before our whip sprints in February, because our whip sprint in February is after the 2-week sweater challenge starts. So like one of my whip sprints is going to be my sweater challenge. Because it's literally 2 days after, so we start that.
Yeah, that's entirely reasonable.
So I already have plans for the whip sprint in February. So while we record, I'm going to continue to work on my 4 cardigan because I only have a few more waffles left to do, and then I'm all done my waffles. As always, I'm using my 2-piece hooking hook with the cutting up and my boa beads on the end here. That is the hook I've been using to make the sweater. And oh god, ergonomic hooks, yes. So much
Ergonomic
yes.
hooks for the win.
So much yes. The yarn I'm using is some gray heather heritage from Briggs and Little. I think I have the heritage one. I think you're Regal. I can't remember.
Yes, the ball band I think is still sitting here. Yes, and it says Regal, so your heritage.
Beautiful. So that is what I'm going to work on while we finish recording. Because I can.
Oh, all right. Are we ready for the Cobra sweater update?
Yeah, I was ready when we signed on to start the Zoom call.
I will tell you, I have not woven in any ends, so those are sticking out.
That's fine.
Cobra sweater, Cobra
Yep,
sweater,
yep,
Cobra sweater,
yep.
not done.
I
Not
didn't think so.
remotely done. Cobra sweater, not remotely done. It's not happening.
Oh, Diana.
I don't even know. I know.
I had
It's
such
not
faith
happening.
in you to at least get the body finished.
I know. And so I'm learning things about myself, one of which is when I am stressed, such as the week before traveling, I pull away from the things that would de-stress me, which is incredibly counterproductive.
That is so counterintuitive. It's not even funny.
It's so counterproductive.
What?
I don't. So I'm currently trying to figure out why I do that and how to not do that, but I have recognized that this is a pattern in my behavior. So because I am stressed that I should be knitting, I am not knitting.
Okay.
which doesn't help anything. But hey,
No, it
I
really
at least
doesn't.
split for the sleeves. I'm on the just roundy stockinette part, so this might be some airplane knitting. I don't know. Love this blue
Oh
yarn. I
my
love the
God,
tonal
girl.
quality of this blue yarn.
Oh my God,
Blue
girl.
yarn.
You
Blah. Yeah.
need
So
to
yeah,
work on that
that's the
sweater.
update. It's not done. It's in fact not even that much farther than it was last week.
You have to bring it with you because now that has been a project on your needles for over a year. You have to hold it up against the child you're making it for.
Yes, I am very pleased that I picked the extra small adult size. So I
Mhm.
am in fact going to
Hopeful.
probably just get her to put it on.
Hopeful that it still fits.
It should. I found the measurements that I was sent a year ago, and I mean, even
Hello.
if she's grown like a weed, it'll still fit. It'll just be less baggy than it was going to be.
Yes, quadruped. You've had your snacks.
But now the question is how long
Yes.
is she? I don't think she's significantly wider, but how long is she compared to the measurements I was given?
Yeah, the growth of kids varies depending on the kid. You saw how fast Izzy would grow up some years.
Yeah, well, because like some of them just kind of like steadily go in all dimensions, and some
They would
do
just
a
go.
lot in one dimension and then the other.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Izzy would do. She would get just a smidge bit closer to not straight, flat, rectangular, then shoot up like a weed. Hello, kitten. What is up?
So this is currently a fail. Well, it's not really a
It's not
fail,
a
it's just
fail.
it's not a fail. It's too pretty to be a fail.
You need to figure out how to structure it so before a stressful time, you have put in your phone that you are to sit down and knit for 20 minutes to de stress yourself.
I think so. I think I need to schedule in some whip sprints for weeks that I know I'm going to be stressed and
Absolutely.
stick to them.
Absolutely.
Because, yeah.
Doing the thing that de stresses you
So,
during a stressful period
learning.
is so important.
It's so important. So it's the most counterproductive behavior.
Oh, jeez.
Like, if the thing I need is more people, what do? Pull away from all the group chats. This is so unhelpful. This is the most unhelpful behavior that I have learned to recognize in myself over the last 2 years. It's incredibly unhelpful. So if anybody's got tips
Phaedra
for how
does.
to deal with stupid brain things,
She was just giving you a tip.
oh,
I
what was
just
that
got
tip? I missed it.
I got meowed at.
Oh, it was very, very good tip. High quality cat tips.
High quality cat tip. What do you want, quadruped? You have your dinner, you have your dry kibble, astronaut food, you had your snackies, you have a fresh bowl of water, cleaned your cat box today, we had a nap, you have a wet towel. What more could
Even got a
cat
wet
life?
towel. There's everything's perfect.
Perfect cat life day. What are you doing? Could you? Ow, claw. Listen, ma'am. Get out of my face. Now we're purring. Get your claws out of my clothing. You are why I have holes in my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
But you love
holes in
her.
me. You need to have your nails trimmed. So, I'm apparently done crocheting for the moment.
Yes. You have a cat now.
I have a cat.
Well, that's all my project updates.
I was so hopeful for that sweater. I was so hopeful for that sweater.
I know, so was I.
Lissa.
Brain.
Lissa.
I'm almost done the blue. I'm almost done the ball of blue, so I have my second cake of blue still, and I still have like a third to a half a cake of the white,
Well, that's
beige,
not
whatever.
too bad. Well, that's not too bad then.
Oh yeah, pattern. The pattern is the copperhead tee, which I have modified slightly to be cobras instead of copperheads. And the yarn is from Fireweed Fiber Co. It's the Buttercup DK in, I think, Latte and Harvest Night. I might have those color names slightly wrong.
I honestly couldn't tell you at this point.
I have the ball bands somewhere, but I could not tell you where.
You can push on my chesticles as much as you want. They're not going anywhere.
They're in the way.
They were, in fact, here before you. Ow, claw in the chest. That's uncomfortable.
All I can see are these two little white paws just going like, eh.
Here's another foot. Here's another foot.
Oh, there's a third foot. I can only see her feet.
It's, she's heavy.
It's just doing this dead bug pose.
Ow, claws. God, I gotta talk to your uncle. I'm coming over to fix this. It's your pokey.
Your love is sharp.
Your love is sharp. Yeah, no, I'm out of things I can talk about. Because obviously I can't talk secret crafting, and I can't talk design crafting until it's ready for test setting and stuff. So things are in the works. Things are in the works.
I may have crafted you a thing that we can talk about next week when you have
good.
received it.
When I have received it, that seems wise.
Yes.
That seems wise.
That was another thing that did take up the minimal crafting time that I did do this week.
You know you don't have to craft me things. I know how tight your time is.
It's a small thing. You'll appreciate the thing. It's a cute thing.
I tend to appreciate all the things you bring me. I do very much. All right, in which case, we're motoring, so let's not derail the train any more than necessary, and let's go to Woolly Workings. Nope, Wool Gathering. It's past Mommy's bedtime. That's probably why you're being all, why aren't you in bed so I can nap?
Mode. You're disrupting the schedule.
I'm disrupting the schedule, you guys. The word today is stash.
Stash. Oh, well, give me an easy one, why don't you?
It's just the next word on the list.
All right, unscripted Patreon ad. If for some reason you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all hours of the day and the night, enabling each other into adding more things to our stash. And favorites bundles. I literally wrote a Twitter bot that is adding so many things to my favorite bundles.
It's really good at it. I'm like, why do I have the notifications on for this Twitter bot? It's dangerous.
It is dangerous. If anybody's interested, Rav Facts on Twitter, RAVFACTS. It's a bot I wrote. It just posts every hour a thing from Ravelry. And my favorites bundle is getting bigger this week because of it.
You know,
I finally remembered to turn it back on.
If you stop twitching your tail, the microphone cord wouldn't move, or sorry, the headphone cord wouldn't move, and it wouldn't irritate you.
Yeah, that's not how cat brain works.
It's not how cat brain works.
As always.
What else? Are you done?
Yeah. Discordy things, or Discord. I said Discord things.
You said Discord things. I'm not sure if you said.
What I said. The Patreon e-knit-in. Yes, that was the other thing I was going to say.
Okay.
That's going to be on the last Saturday of the month. This month on the 28th at noon Manitoba time. I can say words. Words happen. Yes, that's the Patreon ad.
As always, we super understand the budgets are a real life thing. If you can financially support us, liking, subscribing, commenting, and joining us on other social media platforms is a great way to interact with us in the in-between of the episode times. We are officially on the TikToks. As well as Instagram. The occasional Facebook check. Neither one of us are big Facebook people. And neither one of us are big Ravelry people either, than using the database search function. So primarily it's here on YouTube and Instagram to catch us for most things. We have one current craft-along going on at the moment. It is the podcast anniversary. To help us celebrate 6 years of podcasting, we've invited everybody to join us with a little craft-along. This year's theme is based off the 6th wedding anniversary titles. So anything named, colored, or somehow through a tangent of great logicking related to the words iron, amethyst, and candy count. If you're not sure, please DM me. Let me know what your great epic story of logic is.
We're accepting very great epic logic, legendary logic even.
I don't say no very often. I will say no occasionally, but I don't say no very often. All the rules.
If you can tell a good story, it's probably good.
Oh my god, yeah. All the rules are listed for everybody in the show notes, which can be found at northernitspodcast.com. Diana does the show notes for everybody, which is really good. It also means I don't have to say them every week, which I appreciate. Oh, do I appreciate. Can I put you down now?
Never.
You're
stuck like that forever.
God, it feels like it. You are heavy. You weighed like Smokey, you'd be fine. But he weighed like nothing. He was just air. Can you weigh like air?
No, that's not going to happen.
Could you go away now, please? Mommy is very warm and you are very heavy. Oh, yeah, I can't. Now I have fur all over me. Cool beans. That works great for me. Okay. We have some live stuff coming up and going on as always. We have the mid-month motivation check-in with me and Louise, which will be happening this coming Thursday from your guys' perspective, tomorrow, from my perspective, several days from now. So that is where me and Louise will get together on her channel, Wildflower Bowl, and we will talk about motivation. We won't be discussing the secret crafting stuff till the first Thursday of the month. So the first Thursday of February, you'll have to wait to see whether or not I finished a singular leg warmer.
Thrilling content.
Did I get the second leg warmer done? Inquiring minds want to know.
I mean, we do.
First Sunday of the month, as always, is our live episode for the month. It gives me and Diana a break from show notes and from editing, which allows us just a little bit of breathing room, usually a little bit of panic room. So we need like a nap. Yeah. We tend to cover all the usuals on that one, as well as our craft off knitting. So this month's craft off for me was the sweater. Nordic Nights, the Nordic Nights sweater. I'm thinking about it in my head. I'm like, it's purple. What's its name?
That's not helpful.
That's not helpful. I don't even remember what Diana's was. I'm doing great.
It's I'm doing Dad's Cabled Vest in purple yarn.
There you go.
It's cabled vest for me. The pattern's called Dad's Cabled Vest, but I did not work on it this week, so I'm not talking about it.
Well, you're not supposed to talk about it anyway. It's your craft off knitting, not the podcast.
Oh, sorry, no, knitting. That's the podcast anniversary one. My craft off knitting was the Diana socks.
Oh my god, girl.
It's late.
February is literally next month.
Yes.
It is literally after the 10th of January, which means there's less than a month till the 2-week sweater challenge.
Yes. I know exactly what sweater I'm going to make.
So me and Louise, for fun, randomly tossed out the idea, hey, why don't we do a 2-week sweater challenge? The lovely peeps of the internet latched onto it, as they tend to do with great ideas, and we went, okay, sure. This will be a 1-year thing. Year 3 starts this coming February the 9th. For 2 weeks. Louise, myself, and absolutely everybody who wants to join us can try to knit a sweater in 2 weeks. 14 days. And I don't know if Louise is taking vacation days. I can't remember. So, to keep it fair, when Louise is at work, I'm not allowed to knit on the sweater because it had to be time that we could both conceivably legit be free to work on the sweater, and working hours are for work. So this is a sweater in 2 weeks around a work schedule.
Just other life for extra challenge.
Other life commitments are your own thing to decide if you're going to do them or not. I don't. Everybody knows better. 2 weeks, February, I am a no-show for everything. I prep food in the freezer like I have. It is my JOB after hours. Like, I take this serious challenge marathon knitting because I love to see if I can make that goal. This year, I'm absolutely lost my rocker. We did bulky the first year, and I did it. It was great. Year two, I was like, okay, well, I did bulky, and I'd thrown my back out, and I did a bulky weight sweater in 2 weeks. There is absolutely no reason I can't do a worsted weight sweater in 2 weeks. I can't remember. I
Mm-hmm.
think I was on my cycle last one. Guys, I get crash levels tired. Like I run extreme fatigue for my cycle, which is that's what I do. So I slept lunch a bunch. So it took me 3.5 weeks to finish a worsted weight sweater. It was a week and a half over the 2 week thing. So like this year, I want to try to push and get a worsted weight sweater in 2 weeks because really, a
That
week and a
feels
bit, I'm
oddly achievable.
so close to being able to go. I've done that. Now, does that mean I'm going to do that with all of my worsted weight sweaters? No, absolutely not. That is a very
No.
intense period of knitting.
Yeah.
And I love it because once a year I'm pushing my goals. Like, can I do that? Can I stretch? Can I stretch just a little bit further and do that? Can I up my speed? It's really good.
Testing yourself to see if you've gotten better since last year.
Can I read a pattern fully and clearly? Can I do a sweater without having to rip back and pay attention to what I'm doing? Can I knit faster? So, like, can I increase the speed of my knitting, which would then give me more stuff at the end of the year, right? Like, there are many aspects to look at for the sweater challenge. So, I'm very excited. I'm going to do the Easy V sweater because I am heavily addicted to color work. So, once I start a color work chart, it's very hard for me not to work on the color work chart.
Good.
And since there's color work at the bottom of the sweater, I'm hoping that encourages me to get through the body of the sweater.
I guess it's a top-down sweater.
Top-down sweater. So, and it's V-necked, which I've never done before. So, like, yeah, let's do this. I'm doing it out of Briggs & Little. Why a full-on worsted weight natural wool? Because wool breathes and it insulates in both directions. So it'll insulate to help keep you cooler and it'll insulate to help keep you warmer, which makes it a very good fiber to wear, even if you're like me and you overheat. Quite frankly, so long as the girls have a little bit exposure, I can vent my heat fairly effectively. Which sounds ridiculous, but it's very, very true. If I get cold, all I have to do is like put a scarf up on my chest and I warm up fine.
I wish.
I will take what I can get.
Got weird. My internal HVAC system is crap. Because like my upper body is
spots?
like well, see, like from the knees up, I am warm, I am toasty, I am too warm in this sweater, my sleeves are rolled up, but my feet are ice blocks.
So yeah, you've got dead spots.
So I need to have a word with the contractor that did this HVAC system internally. It's
my HVAC is fine. It's fine. I think they forgot to install the air conditioner.
Yeah, well, the air conditioner in the basement's working great over here.
Oh, good. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm also excited to see what everybody else picks to do for challenge work because it's always interesting to see what people go, you know what? I'm gonna try for this. It doesn't matter if you get there or not. The point is you try.
I think last year I did the Steinkrieger for me.
Yeah, you were so close.
So this year I'm going to do the Steinkrieger for Mr. Diana.
Yeah.
The matching one with inverted colors.
Because you were within like a week.
Yeah, I think.
Like, so.
Yeah.
I think we just, bam, bam, thank you, bam.
Yeah, our next live episode will be Sunday, February the 5th. Our whip sprints are happening on Saturday, February the 11th, always noon Manitoba time.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all she wrote. You have to get ready because you fly to Manitoba tomorrow.
I do. I need to go pack the clean laundry.
Which case, I'm going to say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit.